Hello everyone. Today we are going to render this bedroom. This is our final rendering. And we can also see the preview in D5 render. In a minute, I'm going to close this D5 and we will start redoing the rendering. Now let's get started. The first thing we need to do is start D5. If you never used D5 render before, don't worry, just follow my step, you will be fine. Let's create a new project. Create scene first and save the D5. Now let's go out and see what's going on. As we can see, the wall is blocking our view, so we need to create a session. Let's move the session. Before we create any lights, let's delete all the default environment and lights. The first thing is delete the terrain. We don't need it. And the second thing is let's use a HDR. I'm using a custom HDR, Pure Studio 6. You can download this from my Patreon. Update the scene. We need to do one more thing, because right now this background image is blocking our lighting. Click here, so the light can go through this background image. Now, create a rectangular line. Just put it outside our window. Rotate. Also resize the light, so it will be a little bigger than our window. Let's move it a little bit. Let's go back to the view. We also need to turn off the auto exposure so we can see the lighting effect. Let's also lower the exposure. Update the scene. As we can see, the rectangular light right now can reach all the way to here. But we want to maximize this range, so we will just increase the radius of this light. Let's maximize this radius. Copy this light and put it inside the window. Resize the side. Resize this light. Go back to the view. Right now this light is too strong. We can just decrease the intensity to 15. So our main light source will be these two rectangular lights. This one is the dominant one and this one is the secondary. It's time to create the sunlight. Let's go back to environment. Turn on sun. and then custom the direction so we can have full control of the sun. Change the altitude. Rotate the sun and find the proper position. We need to increase the radius of the sun so the edge of the shadow won't be this sharp. Right now the sunlight is a little strong. Let's decrease the intensity. Update. Now that we have all the exterior lights, we need to create some interior artificial lights. Those lights will be warm color, so we will have a big contrast. Let's create some strip light first. Let's put it in the ceiling. Resize it. And then change the color temperature. Also create a strip light for the shelf. Change the color temperature to a warm color. Resize the light. Create another strip light in the bookshelf. Change the color temperature. Also, we need some strip lights inside the closet. Change the intensity to 300. Let's go back to the view. Change the color temperature. Let's move the light inside the closet. Let's move it in. Maybe it's too strong now. Decrease the intensity to 100. And copy this strip light. We can turn on the show light shape so we can see the light. Can you see here? But right now it's too strong. We can decrease the intensity to 50. Still too strong. Change it to maybe 20. Copy this line. Go back to the view and select these two lights and group them together so we can change the property together. Let's also create some strip light inside this cabinet. Change the color temperature. Copy another one. One more. Select those three lights and group. Ctrl G to group. Go back to the scene. Create a spotlight above the bed. Change the color temperature to 3000. Maybe 4000. Too strong now. Let's change the intensity to 100. Okay, that's all the lights we need. Go to Effect. And let's change the exposure. Suppress the highlight. Highlight is the brightest area in our image. We want to suppress it. Also increase the shadow exposure, so the darkest part will be brighter in our image. Contrast is really important. Let's increase the contrast to 0.2. Let's go back to the default contrast. So when we don't have any contrast, it's like there's a mist or a fog in our image. When we increase this to 0.2, we can see the mist disappear. Change the color balance to a warmer color. Also, we need to adjust the tint. When we go this direction, it's pink. Go this direction, it's green. So just adjust it a little bit. Also give it a little saturation. 0.2, too much. 0.1. Okay. Let's go up and apply a LUT. A LUT is like a filter. Apply. I will use a custom LUT. You can find it on my Patreon. Warm. Too strong. Let's decrease it. 0.2. Adjust the exposure. Update. Now it's time to adjust our material. Start from the ceiling. Select the ceiling and change the roughness to 1. Simple as that. Do the same for all the shelves and cabinets. Change the roughness to 1. Select the glass. Let's make it transparent. Change the color to pure white. Select the floor. The default roughness is quite okay, but it's too flat now. I want to add a normal map to create a bump effect. Select normal map. Select wood, and select this one. To see the effect, we need to increase the value first. Obviously, it's too strong and the direction is wrong. Let's click more setting and individual UV. Rotate the texture first. For the final rendering, we will use 0.2. Go back to the view. Select this fabric and change the roughness to 1. All fabric we can just change the roughness to 1. Pillow 1. Select the screen and change the roughness to 0. Select this one and change the roughness to 0. Select the glass and make it transparent. Also, select the leaves and change the material template to foliage. Go back to the view. Select this. Right now it's too dark. We don't want those pure black. Just increase the value a little bit. A dark gray color. Also select this. Let's remove the image. It's a glass, so we will just change it to transparent. Let's also select the vehicle and change this to metallic. Select the bicycle and change to metallic. Select those black book and change its color to a brighter color. Basic color map and increase the brightness. Okay, do the same for this book. Select this sculpture and change its metallic and roughness to 0. Also change the color to white. Now we need to adjust the camera. Select 2-point perspective. Aspect ratio 3:2. Now let's change the movement speed to 1 so we can fine-tune the camera. Adjust the camera. Adjust the view. A and exit the camera. Select the curtain and change its roughness to 1. Maybe the screen of the computer is too dark. You can change it to a brighter color. Also, the edge is too dark. I think we are almost ready to export this rendering. But before we export it, let's adjust the exposure. Update. Now let's export. Select 2K. This is our final rendering. If you want, you can fine-tune those slides and materials. And that's all for the tutorials. If you find it useful, you can support me on Patreon. And I will see you next time. Goodbye.